Hi, I'm Suzanne Boyd. We welcome Corey Massella, a partner and managing director at UHY and UHY Advisors. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about what you all do.
UHY is a mid-sized firm. Nationally, we're about 800 professionals. We have about 18 offices around the U.S. And then globally, we have about 100 plus offices, and our international, we're actually part of an international organization, so it's not affiliate, so we're actually connected to all our offices globally. So, and we're an accounting firm, which with a tremendous emphasis on advisory services. So in the M&A world, obviously, we're doing QOEs, buy-side, sell-side, tax structuring. But at the same time, we have divisions that focus on cybersecurity. We have industrial engineers doing processes and controls in large institutions, Fortune 100, Fortune 50 companies. So we have a broad base of skills that we bring and focus on value added.
What are some of the most interesting industries that you've gotten involved in?
I would say the most interesting ones have always been around the tech sector, but at the same time, financial services has always been interesting because that cycles, and it goes hot and cold. So the tech sector is a broad-based definition, and it changes. Right now everybody talks about blockchain. Well, blockchain, from everything we're seeing, blockchain is not ready and it's not been implemented, but it will be revolutionary from all the experts, clearly not me. But it'll be the next revolution. The cycles of where money comes from and where people invest they all revolve around each other, whether it's with the private equity funds that I work with or the tech companies and the VC money that goes in there or the life science funds. All of them interrelate and they cycle depending upon money flow. And when money flow is good, obviously my business is good.
Yeah.
But you've got to have companies that people are going to be willing to invest. You've got to have a great management team, and it's got to be clear what everybody's effectively betting on. So hopefully that answered that question.
You did. You were the moderator for this morning's session about where we go from here. Mm-hmm. What are some interesting points that came out of that?
I think one of the really interesting points that I personally wasn't aware of was that there was still the interest rates increasing haven't affected any ability of the investor groups to leverage their deals, and that's because there's a lot of alternative funding available to them, which was surprising to me. I wasn't expecting that.
So if they continue to rise?
I don't think I'm qualified to answer what they know.
Right.
But it sounds to me like there's still dry powder in the alternative lending, same way there is in the private equity. So I would say no one knows where the point of where the de minimis returns are for the alternative funders. Where's their point where they push it too high, and then it's going to affect how the private equity closes and how much equity they deploy.
But right now it's not.
Currently not. So yes. And then at the same time, one of the things that came up when we were at the panel was one of the things I mentioned, which I was kind of expecting, but it came up, was under the Tax Reform Act, correlated to interest rates. Dependent upon what you're doing, the interest expense that you have, the Tax Reform Act puts a limitation on the ability to deduct it in the future, which apparently no one, with our groups, no one had been focusing on that. But as they're leveraging these deals and they're trying to figure out their ROI, they should be thinking about that because that's going to have effect into the future.
Yeah. Well, very interesting. All right, Corey, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.